Baby is born with drugs in her system, and the hospital contacts the Denver Department of Human Services. But family members tell 7 News DHS never contacted or interviewed her parents, and now that mom is accused of murdering the baby girl. Call 7 investigator John Ferrugia is asking tough questions about why DHS apparently never intervened.
Yeah, and police charge that Kelsey Newell Skinner beat her infant daughter Natalie to death. And the child's father says he expected the Denver Department of Human Services to call or visit the family after the department was notified of the newborn's drug test. But that never happened.
Her name is Natalie Skinner Hurst. It was the happiest day of my life. I cut the umbilical cord and was taking pictures at the same time.
Jonathan Hurst is Natalie's father. He has his own criminal record, but he says, and a police affidavit notes, that he was not at home when his daughter was beaten to death. 2 months earlier, on the day she was born at Swedish Hospital, he says the social worker there confronted both him and Kelsey because the baby tested positive for THC, the active drug in marijuana.
The social worker told us that she was referring us to DHS.
So she called them?
Yep, because I had asked her if we were going to lose the baby and stuff, and she said, well, that's up to DHS, but she said there's a good chance.
Jonathan Hurst says he expected that someone from the Denver Department of Human Services would contact them in the hospital or when they took Natalie home.
She had told us to expect a follow-up because they don't take any of this stuff lightly.
When DHS receives a referral about a safety issue for a child, it is reviewed by what is called a DHS Red Team. This group, made up of supervisors and administrators, examines the family history, criminal history, and previous referrals, as well as other data to determine the seriousness of the complaint. The referral can be dropped or assigned to an intake caseworker for a 30-day assessment, and that assessment period can be extended.
I expected them to show up at the house.
And did they?
No, sir.
Anybody call you?
No calls. Nothing.
Our investigation has found that 21-year-old Kelsey Newell Skinner has an extensive history with Denver Human Services dating back to 2003 when she was a child. Family members confirm she also had contact with Adams County Human Services in 2010 concerning her children. That's a report which DHS staff would have access to. Yet sources familiar with the investigation say DHS never opened a case on Skinner or her family after the birth of Natalie. The question is, why not?
In retrospect, it would have been a good thing. It would have been probably the best thing for our whole family if they would have intervened, because we needed help bad.
To be clear on this, the Denver Department of Human Services is not responsible for the death of little Natalie Skinner Hurst, but did it do enough to protect her? In response, a department spokesman says only that we don't have all the facts of the case, but would not specify what, if any, facts that DHS would question. The department claims it is prohibited from discussing this case, even though the child is deceased. Our investigation continues. I'm John Ferrugia, 7 News.